So our client, a nonprofit, thought they would go out of business. With our help, they didn't. They found a sustainable home for their operations. They netted $80 million, and they totally transformed how they pursue their mission. Oaklyn Consulting is an investment banking firm that helps businesses and nonprofits understand their options with respect to capital, business organization, and strategy, and negotiate the transactions that make those options real. Now, in the case of this client, whose name I can't share, the board was down in the dumps. The executive director and the board had looked at the future. They had looked at the reimbursement trends in the part of the health system where they operate, and they had come to the conclusion that they would go out of business in a few years. They saw themselves as, after a 50-year heritage of serving their communities, about to fail. What went wrong was not something that hospitals haven't faced or other people haven't faced. In that business models don't always work, and reimbursement trends from government healthcare programs don't always cover costs. It was that they had misunderstood what counts as victory. And I think that's where we helped them most, was to reframe what winning is, to look outside the bounds of the organization as a legal entity that they had been stewarding, to think broadly about their mission, and to come up with creative ways to pursue that mission in different organizational structures. So what this company did, what this nonprofit organization did, was it took the opportunity to say, we are not defining success just by how our legal entity works and the financial sustainability of that legal entity. Instead, we're going to look broadly at what our mission is, serving the public health in the communities where we operate. We're going to think creatively about all the ways that we can pursue that mission. And we're going to find partners to help us pursue it better. And so what they did, once they came to that conclusion, where they would identify their purpose in their mission rather than in their organization, was they said, let's find mission-aligned private sector operators who can do the work that we're doing today. In that case, it was home health and hospice services. They can do it better than we can. They can do it more profitably than we can, and they can sustain that part of our mission longer than we can. Let's negotiate the sale of our operations to those private sector entities in a way that we know that they will keep pursuing the mission that we had. Let's take the proceeds that we can get from that transaction, and let's redeploy that money towards the same public purpose that we had had before, which was the public health in our communities. And so this organization, by thinking creatively about its future, thinking and understanding its capital resources, knowing how to negotiate a merger and acquisition transaction, and keeping a positive sense of all the different ways they could pursue their mission, came up with an outcome they could in no way have achieved on their own by selling their operations, taking the net proceeds back into the organization, and organizing themselves to pursue their mission in a different way. That is, to us, the most rewarding kind of investment banking work. And it makes nonprofits a large part of what we at Oaklyn Consulting do, in addition to serving business owners.